The firearms market is shifting. Some handguns are climbing as much as 150% in value, and 2026 is shaping up to be a major year for pistol appreciation. We are counting down the 20 pistols that experts believe will see the sharpest surges in value by 2026. From recently discontinued service handguns poised to nearly double in price, to early production legends projected to climb by as much as 150%. Each entry earned its place based on scarcity, historical importance, or unique manufacturing features, now driving collector demand. Which models will transform from overlooked shooters to market icon? And which classic will claim the top spot as the fastest appreciating pistol? Let us begin the countdown with number 20. Number 20. The Ruger SR9. Produced from 2007 to 2017, the SR9 was Ruger's entry into the striker-fired polymer-frame pistol market. Collectors are drawn to its slim frame, smooth trigger, and the reputation for rugged reliability. Early examples, especially those with the original trigger design, have become increasingly hard to source in original condition. Current market value sits between $360 and $420. Projections show these could reach $700 by 2026, a 90% increase. Discontinuation and a low survival rate are fueling demand as more collectors recognize the scarcity of first-generation Ruger polymer pistols. Number 19. Smith & Wesson M&P9, first generation. Produced from 2005 to 2009, it stands out for its unique early polymer frame and original fish scale slide serrations. Collectors are drawn to these first-run models, especially after the original production tooling was retired during the transition to the M2.0 platform. With no plans for reissue and the molds out of circulation, these early frames have become increasingly scarce. Current values average between $400 and $500. Projections point to $900 by 2026, an 80% rise. The driving force is clear. True first-of-series scarcity, amplified by the permanent end of original frame production. Number 18. The Walther P99. Manufactured from 1997 until production ended in 2023, the P99 stands out as a modern German service pistol that crossed into pop culture stardom. Its innovative double-action trigger and modular grip caught the attention of police agencies across Europe, but it was the pistol's role as James Bond's sidearm that pushed demand beyond the law enforcement market. With the final production run now complete and European police surpluses drying up, collector interest has surged. Current prices average $700 to $900, and projections point to $1,600 by 2026, an 85% jump. The end of production, paired with its cinematic legacy, is turning the P99 into a modern collectible with real scarcity. Number 17. The FN57 first generation, produced from 1998 to 2008, stands apart for its radical 5.7 by 28mm cartridge and the scarcity of true early models. Introduced by FN Herstal to offer a lightweight, high-velocity round for specialized roles, the pistol drew immediate attention for its unique ballistic profile and unconventional chambering. Collectors hunt for the original USG and IOM variants, especially those with the distinctive early slide texturing and the rare no-warning frames. The early polymer construction, limited early import paperwork, and identifiable first-run features make these pistols especially desirable. Provenance and condition drive collector interest more than mere functionality. Current market values for true first-run examples sit between $1,800 and $2,000. By 2026, projections place top examples at $3,600, an 80% increase. The main driver is limited early production, the specialty caliber appeal, and a growing demand among advanced collectors for non-9mm niche pistols. Number 16. Heckler & Koch USP first production. Brief history and production years. The first production USP models from Heckler & Koch were built between 1993 and 1996. These early runs are considered premium because they carry original German proof marks and distinct transition-era slide features, key design traits and why collectors value it. Collectors seek original date codes and inspector stamps that set these pistols apart from later production. Early USPs show hand-fit slide assemblies and variant control levers, reflecting the meticulous engineering that marked Heckler and Koch's entry into the polymer era. Law enforcement provenance and those early manufacturing details make these examples especially rare. Current average market value. Today, market values typically range from $1,150 to $1,400. Projected 2026 value. By 2026, projections reach $2,400, a 72% increase. The main reason value is increasing. The rise is anchored by the compounded rarity of first-run German-made pistols, combined with documented law enforcement use and the collector demand for original markings and early transitional features. Number 15. Beretta 92FS Italian production. Italian-made Beretta 92FS pistols were built in Gardone Valtrompia from 1989 to 2016. Over that production span, the Italian examples came to represent a clear country of origin premium for serious collectors. Collectors seek the iconic Made in Italy roll marks and early inspector stamps. Those markings, together with original finish details and Italian proof marks, distinguish these pistols from later US-produced examples. Today, Italian-marked 92FS pistols average $880 to $1,200 on the market. By 2026, projections put Italian 92FS values at $2,000, an 85% gain. The primary driver is factory shutdown scarcity. After Beretta modernized its plant in 2016 and ceased standard Italian production, combined with tightening import restrictions and steady collector demand for authentic Italian provenance. Number 14. CZ75 Pre-B models. Produced from 1976 to 1992, the CZ75 Pre-B occupies a unique place among steel frame classics. These early Pre-B models are identified by the absence of a firing pin block and by distinct slide contours. Collectors prize them for mechanical purity and old-world craftsmanship, and for the straightforward, robust design that predates later safety changes. Early export policy limited the number reaching Western markets, making authentic Pre-Bs increasingly elusive. Current values average $900 to $1,100. Projected value for 2026 reaches $2,200, a full 100% gain. The main reason values are increasing is clear. Mechanical nuance and evolving slide geometry, combined with rising demand from both European and American collectors and tightening supply, are pushing prices higher. Number 13. Sig Sauer P226. German production models, built in West Germany from 1984 through the early 2000s, have become a reference point for collectors seeking authentic national proof marks. Early German-made P226s, especially those with triple K proof stamps and phosphate finishes, trace their provenance to police and military contracts across Europe and the US. These contract pistols, often tied to specific serial block runs, carry a premium because further imports have ended. Current market values average $1,300 to $1,600. Projections reach $2,700 by 2026, a 69% increase. The main reason values are increasing is the verified German proof, which authenticates origin and locks in collector confidence as supply continues to tighten. Number 12. Glock 17 First Generation. Produced from 1982 to 1986 for the Austrian P-80 military contract, this pistol stands as the origin point for the modern polymer pistol era. Early examples reveal a smooth pebble pattern grip, a two-pin frame, and the absence of an accessory rail. These are the features collectors use to authenticate true Generation 1 status. P-80 contract pistols bearing military acceptance marks are especially coveted because very few survive in original, untouched condition. Scarcity is a key driver of demand. Current values hover between $1,900 and $2,400. By 2026, projected values reach $4,500, representing a 110% rise. The surge is driven by first-of-family prestige, verified military provenance, and the extreme scarcity of early untouched serials. Number 11. Browning High Power, Belgian production. From 1935 to 1989, FN Herstal in Belgium produced the classic Browning High Power. It became a global service pistol and set the benchmark for the model's original examples. Collectors prized the original design traits: a full metal frame, single action operation, a high capacity for its era, and the factory markings that prove origin. Distinctive FN roll marks, Belgian proof stamps, and untouched factory finishes separate true Belgian examples from later Portuguese and licensed versions. Original Belgian examples command the most attention. Current market values for Belgian production examples range from $1,400 to $1,750, depending on condition and documented provenance. By 2026, projections reach $3,400, nearly doubling current averages. The main reason values are rising is scarcity. Belgian production is permanently closed, creating a fixed supply of authentic FN high-power pistols. With a finite pool of all original examples, provenance and factory condition drive premiums higher as collectors compete for verified Belgian pieces. Number 10. Smith & Wesson Model 39, early production. Produced from 1955 through the mid-1960s, the Smith & Wesson Model 39 holds a special position as the first United States-made double-action semi-automatic adopted by American law enforcement. Early runs in Navy contract blue pistols represent the most historically significant examples from that era. Key design traits include a slim alloy frame and a distinctive thin trigger, features that set the pistol apart from contemporaries and that attract collectors who prize original factory characteristics. Collectors place a premium on examples that retain original box label variants and documented Navy provenance because those elements are rarely found together. Current market values run between $2,300 and $2,900. Projected value by 2026 is $5,200, an 80% increase driven largely by durable collector demand and auction activity. The main reason values are increasing is straightforward. Mid-century United States contract heritage, combined with the rising importance of complete documentation, is pushing top examples into a higher tier of collectability and price. Number 9. Colt 1911 Commercial Pre-Series 70. Colt Commercial 1911 pistols, produced before the Series 70 redesign, spanning 1912 to 1970, have become a cornerstone for American collectors. These early government model roll-mark pistols are prized for their pre-Series 70 blued finish, original small parts, and factory assembly untouched by later modifications. The market now scrutinizes every detail: matching slide, frame, and barrel, plus period-correct grips and magazine, separate high-value examples from parts guns. Today, a true pre-Series 70 commands between $3,600 and $4,600. Projections for 2026 reach $8,500, an 84% increase. The reason is simple. With production forever capped, every authentic pre-Series 70 Colt is a finite asset, and collector demand is only intensifying. Number 8. Walther P38 Early Production. Produced from 1939 to 1942, Walther's P38, with early AC wartime codes, became a symbol of military innovation, replacing the Luger in German service. Collectors now focus on these first-run pistols, especially those bearing intact AC-41 proof marks and all matching components. Original holsters and documented bring-back papers elevate value even further, as museum buyers across Europe compete for examples with unbroken provenance. Current values range from $2,400 to $3,800, but projections for 2026 reach $7,000, a 110% increase. The surge is driven by relentless demand for authentic wartime proofs and the finite supply of documented, early production Walther P38 pistols. Number 7. The SIG P210, Swiss production. Between 1949 and 1975, the P210 was built under strict Swiss military contracts. Each pistol carries the distinctive Swiss proof marks and inspector stamps that now drive collector demand. These early models, often verified by matching assembly numbers and unique inspector codes, represent a closed chapter in European arms production. After the 1994 SOS import freeze on surplus military pistols, the supply of authentic Swiss-made P210s vanished from the American market almost overnight. Dealer inventories dried up, and museums quickly absorbed the best examples, leaving private collectors to compete for what little remained. Today, a Swiss-proofed P210 fetches between $2,750 and $4,300. By 2026, projections reach $8,900, a 110% jump, anchored by the absolute scarcity of Swiss contract pistols and the premium placed on verified proof marks. For advanced collectors, these inspector stamps are more than decoration. They are the final word in authenticity. Number 6. The Colt Python first-year production. Introduced in 1955, the Colt Python would come to define the high watermark of American double-action craftsmanship. Each first-year Python was hand-fitted by senior Colt craftsmen, with toolroom inspectors logging their initials in workshop records, details still traceable in collector circles today. Surviving artisans recall the painstaking process. Barrels and frames were matched by feel, and the deep mirror-blued finish set a new standard for luxury revolvers. Examples with original logbook documentation or inspector provenance now command the highest premiums, often trading at 2 to 3 times the price of later runs. Collectors prize the hand-fit tolerances, the feel, and the documented lineage. Current values for first-year Pythons range from $4,900 to $7,100. Projections for 2026 reach $15,500, a 140% increase. The main reason values are rising is simple. Unmatched hand-fit tolerances and a direct craftsman lineage create both scarcity and desirability, placing these early Pythons in a class of their own and anchoring their place at the top of the collector market. Number 5. The Luger P08 artillery model. Produced between 1914 and 1918 in limited numbers for German forces, the artillery model is distinguished by an extended barrel, a tangent rear sight, and the DWM and Erfurt markings. Complete sets with original capture papers and matching serials have become the crown jewels of World War I pistol collecting. Current values range from $5,500 to $8,400. By 2026, projections push top examples to $18,000, a 125% increase. Authenticity is everything. A wave of forgeries in recent years has forced auction houses to require metallurgical testing and full documentation before accepting consignments. The risk of faked artillery markings and counterfeit paperwork has only increased premiums for fully authenticated examples, as collectors pay steeply for ironclad provenance in a market where controversy can make or break a sale. Between 1896 and 1902, Smith & Wesson introduced the first model hand ejector, the very first revolver from the company to feature a swing-out cylinder. This innovation transformed reloading speed and set a new benchmark for double-action revolvers worldwide. Collectors today hunt for examples with original finish and untouched small parts, as these details drive value sharply higher. Surviving specimens in top condition now sell between $5,900 and $8,200. By 2026, projections point to $19,500, a 137% increase. The key to such appreciation lies in both the historic leap of the swing-out design and the rare scarcity of untouched high-grade examples. For many, this model is the gateway into pre-war revolver collecting, holding its ground as a technological milestone just before the era of the true American icons. Number 3. Colt Single Action Army. First generation. The Colt Single Action Army, first produced in 1873, stands as the definitive American revolver. Its silhouette is instantly tied to the frontier, the United States cavalry, and the legends of the Old West. The first generation run ended in 1941, spanning nearly 7 decades and including countless variations. Collectors now pursue authentic, all-matching assembly revolvers with documented service history above all. These pistols were carried from the dusty plains of the Indian Wars to the silver boomtowns of Nevada, and many were personally issued to officers or lawmen. That provenance can multiply value several times over. Every detail matters. Original finish, unaltered grips, and matching serial numbers across frame, cylinder, and barrel are non-negotiable for top-tier examples. The market has become fiercely competitive for such specimens, and matching condition commands the highest attention. Current values range from $6,700 for honest, lightly used revolvers to $12,000 or more for those with ironclad documentation. Ultra-premium variants, especially those with famous or military-linked provenance, have already crossed the $20,000 threshold at major auctions. By 2026, projections peg these first-generation Colt single-action Army revolvers at $29,000, a 142% increase, as museums and institutional collections compete with private buyers for the last surviving, fully documented examples. The main reason values are increasing is simple: scarcity of fully documented, all-matching first-generation examples, combined with rising institutional demand and the premium collector's place on verified service history. The relentless demand for verified provenance and original condition has created a new standard. Only the most complete, original, and well-documented pieces are now considered crown jewels in the collector world. Number 2. The Mauser C96 early production. Between 1896 and 1912, the Mauser C96, known to collectors as the broom handle, was produced in early runs that were long difficult to fully document. That changed when a cache of Mauser factory ledgers and glass plate negatives surfaced in German municipal archives. The digitization of those records clarified shipment blocks, test fire batches, and even identified rare serial groups previously thought lost. For collectors, provenance that was once speculative can now be verified with direct archival evidence. Early C96s with cone hammer frames, small ring extractors, and the iconic 1,000-meter tangent sight have become the focus of new museum acquisitions and international research. Original shoulder stocks and matching ledger entries are especially prized. These design traits, paired with verifiable history, explain why advanced collectors value these pistols more than similar period handguns. The impact on value has been immediate. High-condition, early production C96s, especially those with verified ledger entries and original matching shoulder stocks, now command between $8,200 and $14,500 on the open market. Auction records show museum bids and institutional buyers pushing prices higher, with projections for 2026 reaching $33,000, a 150% increase in just 2 years. The main force behind this surge is the ability to prove a pistol's place in Mauser's original production flow, a rarity among pre-World War I handguns. For advanced collectors, the discovery of these ledgers has transformed the C96 from a speculative antique into a research-driven asset. Provenance is now king, and the competition for documented examples is fierce. As new archival revelations continue to surface, the Mauser C96 stands as a model of how historical documentation can rewrite the rules and the prices of the collector market. Number 1. Colt 1911 First Production Commercial. In 1912, Colt released the first commercial production run of the 1911, each pistol stamped with a low C1 serial. These earliest examples were finished in deep blue and accompanied by factory letters, and they have become the ultimate prize in American handgun collecting. In May 2023, a pristine first production commercial 1911 hammered for $51,250 at Rock Island Auction, instantly resetting global price expectations. Today, surviving C1 serials trade between $16,500 and $21,500, but projections for 2026 reach $53,000, a 146% increase. Scarcity, ironclad provenance, and headline auction results have elevated the Colt 1911 first production commercial to the undisputed apex of the collector's market. Across all 20 pistols, one pattern stands out: scarcity, historic provenance, and unique factory traits now drive exponential value, often beyond 100% appreciation in under 2 years. Today, the collector market rewards knowledge and timing more than luck. These pistols are not just artifacts. They are signals of shifting demand, tightening supply, and the increasing influence of global collectors. In this landscape, history and rarity remain the strongest currencies.